I don't know if anybody else deals with this. Like, please, if anybody's watching, please comment down below. But if I have like an emotional connection with someone, I feel and I take on all of their emotions. And I experienced this with my sister this past week. And even after, you know, I left, it was a few days, I still could feel her emotions. Like, it's so intense. And the only way that I've ever been able to like release that is if I detach myself, and I'll go in and I'll cut like an energetic cord, but then I don't feel emotionally attached anymore, and I don't care. And I struggle within dealing with this, because it's like, well, how am I supposed to have emotional connections if I'm constantly cutting this emotional cord, because their emotions that I take on is too much. Like, it's absolutely overwhelming. Like, if they feel sadness or anxiety, then I will feel that, and I'm not even in the energetic presence of them. Like, it's like this surge of energy that is in my body. And does anybody else feel this? Because it's happened with my sister. It haven't happened with like anybody else in probably a very, very long time. Or maybe that's just like a sibling connection that siblings have with each other. If there's like connection there, I have no clue. In the past, it would happen with my friends as well, but not to this level of what it was with my sister. But I don't feel that empathetic nature either anymore, because I'm not really close with anybody. And what I mean by close is constantly texting back and forth, and you know every detail about what is going on in their life. I used to do that, and I used to have that a lot with a lot of different people. I've kind of set a boundary there, and I don't allow myself to do that, because in the past, like I said, I would take on every single person's emotion and like try to fix it, or I would internalize it, and it was too much. And I don't know, is this something that can be healed? And I see a lot of the times, especially within like the spiritual community, everyone's like, you need to practice on framework and framing yourself and like staying in your body to make you feel more comfortable, because somewhere along the line, I guess you didn't feel safe in your body, so the energy went up to your third eye, whatever chakra that is, and you know, you're super hyper fixated and aware of all of your surroundings, and it makes you have that empathetic nature. And I can definitely see that. But even when I do allow myself to be in my body, the only way I feel like I'm able to truly release that energy from other people is when I connect to God or source, and I have like this layer of protection around me, and that has genuinely really helped. But somehow the energy, if I'm just like in the shower or driving, it'll come back in. And I just want to know, does anybody else struggle with this? This is something that has just occurred within the past, honestly, week. And obviously the holidays triggered it, because I was with my family and stuff, and there's a lot of like emotions and generational stuff that gets brought up. But I've just found that I have this connection with my sibling the most. Not to say I don't have it with like my cousins too, because I do. I can definitely feel whenever they feel, but it just seems stronger with a sibling connection. I don't know what that is or what that's even about either. But I guess the biggest thing that I want to highlight is that cutting that energetic cord, because whenever I do that with people, it's not even with family, but whenever I do that with individuals just within life, maybe I once liked them, or even we may have like had relations, or maybe I even confessed my heart and my feelings out to these people, but once I cut that energetic cord, I can't feel for them anymore like I used to. And I don't know what that is, because in the past, even if I didn't like someone, I could allow myself to fall for them, but once that energetic cord is removed, it's like there's no going back. Like I can't feel for them in the way that I once did, and it makes me see them in a completely different light, and like I don't want to talk to them anymore, because I guess I feel we're not on the same frequency anymore. But I don't know, I'm just rambling, and I feel like I'm gonna do more of these videos where I digest what I'm going through emotionally wise, because I feel like a lot of people go through this stuff, but it's so hard to talk about it with other people and articulate. Even now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I'm able to probably transmute the energy, but like I'm constantly going and thinking about my feelings and trying to figure out like what's the meaning behind it, or where did this stem from. And there has to be other people like me out there, like there just has to, because I know I'm not the only one that's hyper fixated on emotions all the time. But yes, if anybody else struggles with like that empathetic nature that you have with yourself, please let me know like what you do to calm it down. And do you experience having to cut that energetic cord with people because the emotions are just too overwhelming and too heightened? Like if I were to allow myself, it could probably like take over like my life. Like I would just only fixate on that problem for a super long time if I just allowed it to. But then once you cut that energetic cord, it's like, oh, I have no connection to them anymore, or like no empathy. Very bizarre.